Hi guys, I'm Rock and Roller Hairstylist, and today I'm going to show you how to do some victory rolls on my lovely Betty here. I've had a couple of requests to do victory rolls and people telling me that they're struggling to do it. I'm going to just comb through her hair with my denim brush here just to make sure that it's not free. So it's a much easier canvas to work on. And as you can see, Betty has quite a nice shape to her hair because she's been styled and set and had her hair up and God knows what done, so she's actually got the curl in her hair that I require, so I don't need to do anything to Betty's hair. I'm not going to set it before, but if you were doing this on yourself or a friend and had poker straight hair, I would definitely advise popping some curls in there. It would just help to get the shape that you want. It's also important that when you're doing vintage hair and hair ups and victory rolls, is that you don't do it on very clean hair. So if you just washed your hair that morning and you're going out that night, your hair probably won't go to plan. It's much better to do it on at least day old hair. You can always give a little blast of dry shampoo to your hair, which will also help, but when it's very smooth and sleeky, it doesn't tend to want to play ball at all. So just a little tip there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my vintage back combing comb, which is beautiful, and I'm going to take a section using the end of my comb to take the section that I require. So I'm going to take this section here, if you can see, just behind the ears, and I'm taking that up at a slight angle. So this is the area I want to back comb on this side. So I'm going to be working my way through the hair back combing. And again, because my roll is going to be going this way, I want my back combing to be underneath. So I'm actually going to do it on this top layer here because the hair is going to be going this way round. I just find that easier. There's no necessarily right or wrong way to it. It's just, if you know which way your roll's going to go, then think about where you want to put your back combing in. I think that just helps with your style. So again, you can see that's lovely. Standing up on end, which is what I want. And we're creating lots of volume by simply popping in our back combing. As I'm getting nearer towards her ear, I don't want to go as nuts with the back combing, so I'm just going to very softly take that through because I want this to curve round. I don't want this to be sticking out this way, not wanting to play ball, so I'm going to do that. And I've also got my Denman smoothing brush. It's also a back combing brush, but I like to use this for smoothing areas over. So as you can see, smoothing this round, you can see that it's starting to take shape. You don't want to brush your back combing out. Again, you just want to smooth over and just neaten the style. So this is lovely. On an actual person, their hair probably wouldn't be quite as terrible as Betty's on the end, so I'm just going to wrap this around my fingers like this, just so I have something now to work with, so I can start putting my victory roll in place and deciding where I want this to sit. So I think maybe about here. I'm just going to put a couple of pins in to anchor this into place. That would be all and end all. If you do the rest of your hair and think, oh, I don't like this side, just go back through, It's a really nice 40s look, which victory rolls are a 40s look more than a 50s look. It's very a wartime look, and it was very popular in the 40s. So it's different. I love this sort of look. Now I'm going to work my way through again. Again, doing my back combing on the inside because my hair will be going this way. Just taking it through section by section. And again, I'm taking it to just around where the ear is. As I get closer to the ear, again, I'm just not going to put quite as much back combing in, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a root boost, let's say. So just more at the root, just a little bit there, and not so much all the way through like I have on the rest of it. So I'm now taking my denim back combing brush, or my smoothing brush as I like to call it, and I'm doing the same again. Just smoothing as I go. Trying to get this as neat as you possibly can. And again, not wanting to take the back combing out, just wanting to smooth everything in place and to create the shape that you want. So again, my ratty old ends, Betty, I'm going to just take this round with my fingers. You can see, just made this little circle shape here and rolling it down. So I don't necessarily like victory rolls to always be completely symmetrical. I sometimes think it's quite nice to have, you know, one lower down, one higher, one bigger, one smaller. There is no right or wrong with that. You can do that however you like. So I'm quite pleased with the placement there. So I'm now going to pop a pin in to anchor this into place. So I've just put one in there for now. And I'm just going to pop a couple around the back where I can see it needs a bit more smoothing around here, and it just needs to be a little bit neater than that is. And I will probably still continue to go around working my way at the end, putting more pins in, because when I'm happy with what I've done. So actually I quite like this roll here. Actually not over keen on this because it looks a little bit messy. So I don't know whether to rework that area. I might just go through that again. And I'm just going to rework this area. You know, when you are new to doing hairstyles like this especially, the hair doesn't always go to plan. It can be really frustrating, but you will get there. It is just practice. I remember doing victory rolls on myself many years ago and not really knowing properly what I was doing, but just having a bash. And you know, I would get so frustrated with my hair. But it is really just practice. Don't give up, persevere. You know, it's not always going to go to plan straight away. If it doesn't matter. Try it again. And you might find it easier than doing it on your own hair. You might find it easier just working on a friend's hair for a little while. So I'm more pleased with this shape here. I might even bring that in a bit closer. Again, there is really no right or wrong way, it's just however you want to position them. I actually think that looks loads better. Just the fact that I popped a pin in the middle to kind of bring these two rolls together. Some people like to have them very separate. It's absolutely fine, it's up to them. Someone wants a lower roll here and a larger roll here, you can do that. So with this hair here, you can see how it's already got lots of volume in it from a previous hairstyle. I'm just going to use my back combing brush. And again, just work my way through. There's not as much hair here to work with as these areas that need much more back combing, so I'm not going to worry about going through it with my back combing comb. I'm just going to back brush it and smooth it. And then find out what I want to do with this, because I don't really want to cover up these lovely rolls here, but I want to do a little bit of a detail at the front so it doesn't look quite so symmetrical. Again, you can see the hair, because it has previously been curled, wants to roll this way, and we will go with it. So I'm actually just going to do like a little roll here at the front. I think that looks really pretty. Again, I'm just going to anchor this in place with a couple of pins for now, until I am satisfied with the hair all over. So that's that bit done. And let's just get a couple of pins in here, in the roll. I'm quite pleased with that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to blast with a little bit of hairspray. So I'm going to also be smoothing it round as I go. So I'm just going to work my way back through again with a few more pins, just making sure this feels secure. Because the last thing you want is to put all this effort into doing a lovely vintage hairstyle and it starts to fall out because you haven't quite popped enough pins in. You don't need a huge amount, but I sometimes like to go a little bit nuts with the pins just to make sure that everything is in place. I'd much rather have a few too many than not enough pins. So also, it can be quite hard to disguise your pins, but luckily these pins here are very, very close to Betty's hair colour. I'm really happy with this shape on this side. That's a lovely victory roll there. I'm just going to maybe use the back end of my comb. I'll just pop that up a little bit. So I'm now happy with both of these rolls here. I think the front just needs a little bit of adjusting. So I'm thinking just to adjust this a little bit. Pop a couple of pins in place firmly. Now I'm really pleased with that. I think that looks really pretty. So this is the front of Betty. I love these two victory rolls here and this little roll detail at the side. Just turn her around on the side so you can see. Round the back. And the other side. And back round to the front. I have my little hair flower. So if you wanted to finish off your hairstyle with some flowers or any other accessories you can think of, why not? Just pop them in, it just finishes off the hair a little bit more. So maybe this side. And I quite like it not interfering too much with the rolls that we've done, but just a little bit of detail. So you can see when Betty turns side and the back, you can see this lovely flower detail. And I think that really just sort of rounds off the look. So there you have it. I mean, that was quite simple to do. It's a lovely 1940s inspired victory rolls. And why not have a go? Thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to add any comments that you wish. And also if there's anything that you'd like to see me do, why not pop a comment in and I'll see what I can do in making that video a reality. Thanks for watching.